Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be covering the new act introduced in the Necropolis DLC, including some events and some of its enemies. The new act in this DLC can be reached when taking a portal to Act 4. There will be a choice between a white and a black portal at the end of Act 3. The white portal leads to the Act 4 we've all grown accustomed to, while the black portal leads to the Dusklands, a dark Castlevania-inspired swamp with a castle at the end. Here, there are many new enemies reaching previously unheard of speeds of 25 and 26 in Madness 18, where monsters get a +4 speed modifier. There are 5-ish new boss fights, including the Twins replacement, and the replacement for Handshake and the Archon Near. I don't want to spoil them too much, but before I go over the new events, let's take a look at some random monsters using a team with both Valerian and Nevermore. Starting out with the earlier part of Act 4, we have some tanky enemies hitting in the front line. They get vulnerable. We have Stress as a thing on a 26 speed enemy on Madness 18. We have an enemy that is built to set up, and then an enemy that weakens and also helps recover all monsters. Moving on to later in the act, the enemies get more vicious, with disarms coming in, big shields, as well as weakening, vulnerable, and de-energize and de-powerful. Not to mention, enemies start hunting the lowest HP heroes, as well as putting on silence on the slowest hero, which is oftentimes the heroes that have spells. Not only that, but some of these jump attacks are very vicious and damaging. These are all the low-level attacks. At higher levels, they get even more damaging and even more effective. Needless to say, these DLC enemies are brutal, but you don't have to worry about that if they never get to go in the first place. Okay. For those of you who wanted to see all the new paths and events, I have a slight disclaimer, as I did not explore each node with every hero, or navigate to the Duskland with every path, so my knowledge is limited, and there will be things not listed here. In general, there are many one-to-one parallels for the nodes in the original Act 4. Heading south, there's an event at Uncommon Rarity where Nevermore can pick up experience for the team, allowing them to level up early, or your team can find items in the swamp with Mythic Rarity when successful, or lower rarity if not. Beyond that, you can use the black key to enter the graveyard. I haven't tested the white key yet. Inside, there's a fight much like the center of the other Act 4, and there's a chest to be found with a bunch of epic and potentially mythic items alongside a mysterious chest that needs a different key, similar to the Jade chest needing a key for the Straw Hat, the strongest armor in the game. After that, there's a campfire to rest before the map transition. But before that, let's go over the middle and northern parts of the Dusklands, where we find big differences from the original Act 4. Instead of using the key to access the cemetery, you can continue to another fight, followed by a merchant selling pet upgrades or purple pets. Purple pets are far better than their normal counterparts, and can finally be guaranteed without having to go through the Pets Unlock quest again. The cave path leads to a new mini-boss, Frankie, who has a bit of a gimmick but does reward the player with a decent set of items, and also doing one more fight in itself, which can push teams to be stronger before getting to the boss of Act 4. Either way, you end at a campfire, where you can do the usual campfire actions. The northern path gives you a fight, then merchant. So far, so similar to the southern part of Act 4. After the merchant, another fight, then a corruption circle. This time, however, you can corrupt items instead of cards, and the percentage chance goes down for everyone once an item gets corrupted. Failure results in those new deformed and broken items. This opportunity for guaranteed corruption before the hardest boss in the game is awesome. There are so many items that get way stronger when corrupted, and being able to craft decks with that in mind has me very excited for new silly runs. After that is the tree equivalent you'd normally find on the upper path in Act 4, but this time it can give one character Dark Miasma, though the other option still gives everybody 15 HP. And that does it for the castle courtyard. Inside the castle entrance, there's a forced armory event which functions the same as the event node in the beginning of Act 4, with failure resulting in a few epic items and success in mythic items. Critical failure is still best avoided though. The next nodes are familiar events. We have the armorer in the north who crafts things based on the gems you bring, and gives the platinum ring. The southern part is the library node, complete with scrolls of intellect and experience reading. Beyond that is the squid laboratory, that gives magic powder to Valerian for use inside the castle. Then there's fights, and the armor boss of Act 4. This boss has nearly double the total HP of the twins, and requires a different set of tools to fight in a prolonged battle. After beating the armor, you gain access to the inner castle with 2 more fight opportunities, an altar, card removal, and a library where Valerian can pick up an encyclopedia. Valerian also can discount at the altar. Using the magic powder on this right side node gives the team +1 initial energy, though when I tested this there was a bug not granting the energy. Since it usually only lasted one fight for Act 4.5, I imagine this still won't be very interesting for me, as I'm more worried about the final bosses. In the final fight, be prepared to face off against evil copies of Andrin, Reginald, Evelyn, and Magnus before facing the Countess. After her, you'll need to defeat the Count, and the new Archon without rest in between. I don't want to spoil too much about the fights in this overview, but hopefully this helped you make more informed decisions about what to do and what characters to bring in the Dusklands. That concludes our 3-part look into the Necropolis DLC. Thanks again to the developers for sponsoring this video, and for those wanting to see more gameplay, I will be live streaming featuring one or both of the new characters and new act around 3 PM every day for the rest of the week.